last episode on sailing Millennial Falcon, we explored Spanish Town on the island of Virgin Gorda before making our departure to the Dutch island of Saba in the Lesser Antilles. We've just arrived in Saba. We are at Fort Bay and we've come ashore to check into Customs and Immigration as well as go to the marine park shop. And the Customs and Immigration office, which is behind the camera right now, is just closed and looks like it has not been open for a while. Harbour Master upstairs too is nowhere to be seen, even though we just spoke to him about half an hour ago when we were checking in. Don't know where he is, so right now we can't really check into the country. We did speak to the guy in the marine park though, in the marine park office, who's a lovely guy, really friendly. He gave us a map and showed us what the best sites to see around the island. And he said, he was just like, oh, if there's nobody there, just go back later, you'll be fine. He'll come around eventually. So we're not too fussed if we don't get there right away. But for now, it sounds really boring, but I'm gonna go back to the boat and sleep a little bit because I'm knackered. Before I broke Adam's sunglasses, I was going to give you an update of what to do on the island. No! No!
Is that a breakage?
Oh, I just trod on the sunglasses.
Whose glasses?
Oh, your sunglasses.
Oh!
Oh no! What were they doing on the floor?
You're a wrecking ball.
Oh.
You are a wrecking ball. Not in the good Miley Cyrus way. If that's what you're saying that, right? No! The last pair.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll try and fix them. What were they doing on the floor?
I don't know, they must have slipped.
Oh no, I think you're gonna have to wear the Elton John ones. We have to check in again with Customs and Immigration. Sorry, we haven't even checked in the first time. We're gonna need to go and find the Harbour Master or Customs and Immigration.
Try to find him again.
Yes, because he just wasn't there yesterday, so we'll try and do that again. If he's not there today, well, that's
Tough.
yeah, tough.
Well, spending
Well,
2 days chasing this person.
Yes. This mooring place that they have us is not very good for overnight moorings, and we've just been we had really pretty crappy night's sleep just because the waves were going crazy. So I really don't want to spend another night here waiting for the Harbour Master to rock up. And
All the good stuff is on the eastern side of the island anyway, which would be the leeward side of the island and therefore much more sheltered. So yeah, we really don't want to loiter out front of a commercial port any longer than we have to.
we're then going to have a little explore of one or two of the towns. One of them is called the Bottom, which I'm going to guess is the lowest one, or being the bottom of the mountain. And then the other one is called the Windward side?
Yep.
The Windward side. So we'll go and explore those two. And then I think later on in the day we'll go around to the eastern side or the leeward side of the island in our boat, and we'll go and pick up a mooring ball there. We've just decided that we need a slingshot so that whenever we want to wake up Bright Eyes...
Just sling pebbles across their window.
Okay, maybe something a little bit less mean than pebbles. Maybe just
Peanuts. So
like
like
peanuts.
peanuts.
That'll be fine. Yeah, that won't break their boat at least.
Oh, we need one of those a glove gun. Do you ever make? Oh, you didn't make that when you were a kid. But you get a piece of PVC pipe and you cut the finger off a surgical glove and you sticky tape it to the end and then you put a pebble in it and you and you shoot the pebble.
That's so cruel.
Yeah, I mean they would go straight for about 20 feet and then it would be like a golf ball, but it was still fun.
Oh, someone's actually up. All right,
Oh.
we're gonna go wake them up
Hands of
properly,
life.
and then we're gonna go check in.
They're hiding from us.
So we've just checked in, finally. The office was open. $20 US, pretty easy peasy fee. Immigration people are a little bit harder to get a hold of. The ferry only comes once a day, so it's 4:30, 5 o'clock. Downstairs office will open up, so we have to circle back and catch them then. Same deal for checking out in 5 or so days' time. We're probably here for a little bit too long to check in and out at the same time, but that's cool. It's such a tiny island and we're going that way anyway, so we have to come past the door to go where we're going. So we're gonna catch them this afternoon, check in officially with immigration, and then go around the corner to Wells Beach, which is where it's a much better, well, I believe it should be a much better mooring field and a lot closer to snorkeling and scenic walks.
1 second of sticking the thumb out, some guy stops to give us a lift.
You guys are great at this. Every time you film me, I'm like, sponsored by Diet Coke. So this town down here is called The Bottom because it is at the bottom of a really big hill that goes to the top, where the town is called Windward Town.
Windward Side.
Windward Side. So there's 3 towns: the bottom, the Windward Side, and Hell's Gate. This is the first of the 3. Is there another one? There's one more, I forget the name. And there's all these little well, there's roads, but the sidewalks are not very large here. Hitchhiking is pretty good, as we discovered stepping off from Fort Bay, but we had slim luck coming up the hill. So now we're on these little trails, which is very similar to the trail that goes up to the peak, which we'll tackle tomorrow.
Oh, I just stuck out my tongue, thankfully. A car was passing by. Phew.
Town.
How does everyone feel after that ride?
Yeah, windswept, a little bit wobbly. Not so happy to be on land anymore. Yeah, we almost died. I think we almost died.
Not sure our insurance covers us for that.
Saba is an island in the Lesser Antilles and is a municipality of the Netherlands. Rising almost 2,855 feet out of the water, this 13 square kilometre island is essentially the top of a dormant volcano known as Mount Scenery. In 1640, the Dutch West India Company, which had already settled the neighbouring island of St. Eustatius, brought people over to Saba in order to colonise the island. Soon after, those Dutchmen were chased out by this guy due to ongoing conflict between the Netherlands and Britain. For almost 200 years, the island switched hands between the Dutch, Spanish, French and English, before the Dutch finally won out in 1816. Just like everywhere else in the Caribbean, slavery brought people from African descent to Saba's shores. Because life on the island was much harder than other islands, people had to work together to survive. Because of this, slavery on Saba ended far in advance of other parts of the world.
And we're on our way back down to check into immigration and custom. Having finally completed the formalities, we are free to move around to Wells Bay on the leeward side of the island. This is our first day then in Saba, and we thought I'd give you an update, I guess, our thoughts on the place. I really like this place. I think it's really cool.
It's a hidden gem, so don't tell anyone, okay?
Yes.
Only 9,000 of you are going to know about this.
It's so cool. If you haven't gone to Europe yet, it's a teensy little bit of kind of Europe on a rock, pretty much.
In the middle of the Caribbean.
Exactly,
which is awesome.
yeah. It's definitely got some Dutch influence. It's owned by Holland. So
Heineken everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's
Heineken.
cheap.
Yeah.
The terrain is spectacular and it's very hilly. But everyone here is so friendly and nice that you just walk for 100 metres with your thumb out and they stop and you just pile in the back of a ute.
Yeah.
As you probably will have seen prior to this clip, because we put it in the footage from today.
Exactly.
If you don't want to walk, you don't have to walk more than 200 metres. And they're so lovely. They're like, hey, how you going? Where you going? And when you get off, they're like, have a great day, bye.
Yeah.
It's just...
The roads, like, there aren't any dirt roads. It's all quite built up. It's quite progressive, I guess. Considering it's such a small little place, it's quite progressive.
And post the hurricane, the rebuild here is...
Yes.
You'd never know that the hurricane happened.
Yep, just about to say that.
At all.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
They've done such a great job.
And all the little houses match their colours. Like, it's love this place. I really wish we could stay here longer than the
four-ish
days that we've kind of allocated before that.
There are a few storms on the way, so we need to keep hustling south. But
tomorrow, our plan is to walk up Mount Scenery. It is...
I wonder if it's pretty.
Ooh, I wonder if it's scenic. It is very rainforesty apparently. As soon as you, well, as you can guess by kind of behind.
See that cloud above my head? That's not because I'm in a foul mood. That is, that's Mount Scenery, and it's got cloud forests because it's so high. It's 840 meters.
Yeah, around about that, 840 or 50 meters.
1,065 steps it takes to get up there. It's quite. I think it's a 3-hour walk one way.
Return. Thankfully.
3-hour walk.
Probably from where we are at sea level, it's probably about 5 hours. Return.
Yes. So the plan tomorrow morning is to get in the dinghy, take off down there to a place called the Steps.
Yep.
The Steps, which was the original entry point to the island, and they used to haul all the goods and they hauled royalty up there apparently at one stage. Anyone who couldn't be,
Oh my god.
that was the entry. So at the moment you enter at Fort Bay, which is a commercial port, but you used to arrive here, which is sort of the leeward anchorage. It's much more sheltered than the current entry point. But obviously it's very steep, and so the steps were born. I don't know how many steps there are, but apparently it's a 45-minute step climb, and then a half-an-hour walk to the 1,045 step climb to the top. So there will be a lot of steps tomorrow, a lot of sweating, a lot of whinging, but hopefully a pretty spectacular view at the top. So what started out as a little journey ashore to get some nice photos has turned into quite the climb. And if you haven't cottoned on already, I may be a slow learner because I have yet to adhere to the appropriate footwear rule. We'll get there. But what about the view, eh?
The following morning, with our bags packed and our boots on, it was time to tackle Mount Scenery. Got the dinghy ashore and we're going to start our walk up to Mount Scenery. It's so weird to see you wearing shoes.
Yeah, it feels weird wearing shoes. Figured for this one I would follow the footwear rule.
I think that's wise. I went all out, got my hiking boots out. Yeah. We're about 4 minutes in. We're pausing for a break.
It's the altitude.
Exactly, totally. Totally the attitude. I've never seen you look so sweaty.
Really? Yes, heat's really getting me.
Yep.
Jelly legs already.
We're back up to the bottom, which is the bottom of the rocks, of the hills. Oh, We're all dying a little.
Speak for yourselves.
Apart from Josh, who seems to have surprised us all.